When I got to work this morning, I went to the refrigerator to pour myself some tea, and guess what? The jug was empty. Someone had placed the empty jug back in the refrigerator, and I was so disappointed. But ever felt like this jug? Empty, used up, nothing left to give? Maybe that's where you're at right now, too empty to enjoy the anticipation of Christmas. Well, as those thoughts entered my mind, God reminded me of just how far He went for you and me. In Philippians chapter 2, verses 6 through 7, we read, "Although He existed in the form of God, He did not regard equality with God a thing to be grasped." But listen to this, "but emptied Himself, taking the form of a bondservant and being made in the likeness of men." Emptied Himself. Divinity, clothing Himself in humanity. You know, as I look at this jug, I realize it's not really empty. When the tea left, it was replaced with air. And Jesus was not empty the way we think of empty. In John 1:14, it says, "The Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us. We have seen His glory, the glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father," and listen to this, full, hear that, full of grace and truth. And in Luke 4:1, He tells us that Jesus was full of the Holy Spirit. So guess what? You and I may feel empty, but we're not. We're going to be filled with something. Maybe it's the air of our selfish humanity, or it could be the very presence of Jesus Christ in our lives, filling us with the grace and truth of His Holy Spirit. Well, this Advent, I want to be empty and yet full. What does that mean? Well, I want to be empty of Ann Lee and be filled with Jesus Christ and His Holy Spirit. So won't you join me this Advent and take a moment to ask the presence of Jesus Christ to come into your life and fill you with His Holy Spirit and His truth and His grace. Be filled this season.